something on the radio. Listen to the radio. Oh, listen to the radio.
They're going to always look pretty.
And you know, Val, I'm so glad to hear you say that in the end everybody worked together, and it could not have been easy for the members of the Board of Warden and Burgesses with all this heat coming down upon them. It couldn't have been an easy thing, but in the end, as I said, democracy prevailed, but they were big enough to understand that the majority spoke, and I thought they handled this situation in a very classy way.
That's when you get a phone call from somebody to say, don't give it up, from all over the country. And it, you know, it wasn't meant to be a fight in town, but it was a fight for our ribbons, for our troops.
It's a great story, and Val, I can't thank you enough for coming down today and chatting with our audience. And I'm serious, we need to get together and do something soon for our troops so that we can have a big collection of cookies and shaving equipment and all that they need so that we can send them overseas to our troops.
We'll work on that, Dan. You know it.
Okay. Val, thank you.
Thank you.
We have a Wall Street Journal report up some Tea Party members coming up after the 3:30 news. We'll also have some open phone time at 1-888-574-2723. Email Dan Lovallo at talkofconnecticut.com. Just a note, a chance for you to win tickets to see Engelbert and snow before 3 in the afternoon. Then a chance of rain, possibly back to snow. A temperature in the mid-30s. Friday, partly sunny, and a high in the 40s. Currently a temperature of 36 degrees in Hartford, 36 degrees at our Talk of Connecticut studios in Bloomfield, 35 degrees in Canton. Good afternoon, Dan Lovallo, the Dan Lovallo broadcast, and we are on location today in Woodbury at the Woodbury 3861, the Midday 46792. We're going to talk to Joe Markley after the Wall Street Journal report. Welcome back. Dan Lovallo broadcasting live from Woodbury Town Hall Annex. We've been talking a lot about the Tea Party movement today in addition to tonight's Candidates Forum, and we are pleased to be joined by one of the members of the Tea Party movement, Joe Markley of Southington. Joe, good afternoon.
Hi, Dan. It's a pleasure to be with you finally.
Joe, the pleasure is all ours. Talk about the Tea Party movement, how you got involved. I know you have a history of being in politics, so talk about the Tea Party movement first of all from your perspective.
Well, I was, last April 15th, I drove down the Long Wharf with an axe and other parts over the whole complex.
So you're involved in candidate recruitment, and what do you do? Try to funnel these candidates through the various Republican town committees, or is it party specific?
It has essentially part of the party structure, but who can run through the Republican Party in almost every case. As genuine outsiders, people that aren't beholden to anybody, people that aren't looking to make a political career, and that could be very upfront about where they stand on the issue.
And how successful have you been in that candidate recruitment?
Well, we had a campaign school in Southington that I put together just a week ago Saturday, and we had 16 candidates out of this group at that campaign school.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Dan Lovallo program. It is the 4 o'clock hour. I'm Dan Lovallo. We are broadcasting live from the Woodbury Town Hall Annex, and we are broadcasting this afternoon on location because tonight we'll be serving as moderator for the Connecticut Deserves Better Government Candidates Forum for the candidates vying for the Republican Party nomination, the 5th Congressional District nomination. It's a forum open to the public. We encourage you to come out because the public will be asking the questions. So I'll be serving as moderator of that event starting at 7 o'clock tonight at the Woodbury Community Center. We'll have some open phone lines in just a bit, but we are pleased to be joined by the organizer of the New Haven Tea Party back on April 15th of last year. She is also the Connecticut State Tea Party coordinator, and that is Tanya Bashand. Tanya, good afternoon. Dan Lovallo.
Good afternoon, Dan. How are you?
I am okay. How are you? Tanya, how about explaining to our audience how you became involved and why you became involved in the Tea Party movement in this state to bring the ballot initiative to the state of Connecticut. So, like in Massachusetts, if you get enough signatures, you can put to the voters a specific question on a specific part of the state constitution. and the initiative is still alive. I'm just wondering what your take is on that.
Well, I would support that, and quite frankly, about a year ago, I was asking about that. I didn't know if we had it because I thought there were a few items we could address in that fashion, and so I was disappointed to know that we didn't have it. I'm all for it. It's more democracy. It's more direction of the society that would come up through we the people in the society rather than from the top down, and we also would have an ability to check some of the awful legislation that has been put on the books from the top down. So.
Okay, let's go to the phones. Chuck in Naugatuck. Good afternoon, Chuck.
As usual, Dan, you're doing a great job, great public service to
Thank
all
you.
of us in Connecticut. I was curious, across the nation, Dan, do we know how many tea parties are?
Now tonight, snow, a low in the 30s, less than a half-inch of snow accumulation. Tomorrow, cloudy, a chance of rain and snow before 3 p.m., then a chance of rain, possibly back to snow, with a temperature in the mid-30s. Friday, partly sunny, a high in the 40s. Currently, a temperature of 40 degrees in Hartford. It is 38 degrees in Bristol and 38 in New Hartford at 5:07. Next news at 5:30. Granby at 5:33. Next news at 6 o'clock. Good afternoon, Dan Lovallo, the Dan Lovallo program, broadcasting from the Woodbury Town Annex as we get ready for the Candidates Forum tonight at the Woodbury Senior Center. By the way, we want to congratulate Carrie Malone of Bristol. She wins a pair of tickets to go see Come Fly Away on Broadway. Carrie, congratulations. By the way, a chance for you to win tickets to see Engelbert Humperdinck at Foxwoods on May 15th when you play the History Timeline with Brad Davis tomorrow morning at 5:55 on the Talk of Connecticut. Well, Randall, good afternoon.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
The pleasure is ours. Now, Randall, how did you get involved in the movement?
Well, like everybody else, I was appalled at the out-of-control deficit spending. I was appalled at the government invasion
By Joe Courtney. He basically, if he was elected, is going to be a consolidator, conciliator with the other party. I don't think he's going to represent the movement that we have. I don't think he has any idea that there's a revolution taking place, and the same old stuff won't pay the bills today. Schiff is a free market expert, libertarian, fiscal conservative. He has predicted in the past that we were in a crisis. I believe if he gets in, he will be able to convince a portion, not all, but a good portion of the senators that are in office now that the road they're traveling down is wrong, and I think he could basically convince them that what his argument is, get government out of everyone's life, will set the country free.
See, I thought Schiff did an excellent job, and McMahon did a very good job, but I also think that as time goes on, it's going to continue to wear thin when McMahon says, well, I talked to the grocer in Litchfield, and then I had a conversation with a factory worker in Woodbury, etc. People are going to want to have more substance, and that's where I think Schiff shines. He gives you substance, and that's, I believe, what the movement wants. And to you, our callers and listeners, you are the backbone of the program. Now, we will see some of you at the Candidates Forum tonight. It gets underway in an hour, so hope to see you and say hello. And we'll be back in studio for tomorrow's program starting at 3 o'clock. And among our guests, Christine Stewart from CTNewsJunkie.com. Don't forget Brad Davis tomorrow morning at 5:30. Thanks for listening. I'm Dan Lovallo. Okay, Rob, great job.
Good job, Rob.